Hey guys, it's Shauna with Just Try to Be Nice, and I am coming at you today from a parked car in a parking lot, and I'm going to do the hot car challenge. Now, it's not 90 degrees out, it's only about 78, but the humidity is really, really high, and it just rained, so it's even higher than normal. And I'm sitting in my van, this is the van, and please don't judge me on how dirty my van is, but this is my van. This is my 2002 Nissan Quest minivan that I absolutely love, even though it's a piece of crap. And my husband keeps trying to talk me into getting a new one every single year, and every single year I'm like, no, I love my van too much. I won't let it go. And her name is Queenie. Queenie the Quest. So I'm sitting in my car, and right now I have my car running because you can hear my windshield wipers, but I'm about to turn it all off. And I'm going to see how long I can sit in this car with no AC, and all of the windows are up. All my windows are up, and there's no flow of air at all. And I did not run the AC like crazy, crazy, crazy a lot before this, but I just ran it like I normally would. And so the idea is that unless you're this guy who, it seems like, just murdered his child by killing it in a car, the idea is that you are driving and your child is behind you and you're so distracted by work or lack of sleep, or in his case, I guess, sex addiction. I'm not really sure. But the idea is that because of that, you're so distracted, you get out of your car and you leave your kid in the car. So I've gotten out of the car, like I came, I parked, I got out of the car, and I walked away. So it is reasonable that you would be running the AC and playing the radio before you stop the car. So I'm trying to do it as authentically as I can. One of the other things I'm going to do, and I've not seen anybody else do this, is I'm going to wear my seatbelt, because most of the children that are strapped in, or that are killed in cars, are strapped into their car seats. And part of the problem is that if they could get out, then they could probably get on the horn and let somebody know, hey, let me out. But they're strapped into their car seats, so they can't get out. So I wanted to make sure that I did this with my seatbelt on. And I can tell you, it's not even been 2.5 minutes, because I can see on my timer, and it's already getting stuffy. Like, it's not necessarily hot. I wouldn't say it's hot, but it's very muggy. Muggy is the word I would use. It's very muggy in my car right now, and maybe that's because I'm talking and expelling a lot of air, and I would think that if a child was left in a car that they would be screaming and crying, and that would be the reality, is that they would be screaming and crying and hyperventilating and panicking. So again, I'm just trying to do this as like authentically as I can to recreate what it must be like for those children. And it's only been 3 minutes, and it's hot. I mean, it's muggy, and it's getting to be a little bit uncomfortable here. Not crazy uncomfortable, but a little. I mean, if I was in a normal situation right now, I would roll my window down and let some air go through. Now, it's just started raining, which is actually not a good thing. You'd think it would be, but it's not, because it's going to make it even muggier and even hotter in here. So I'm just going to sit here. My mom used to leave me in the car all the time when I was a kid. We had a Chevy Bel Air, and my mom would leave us in the back seat and with the windows rolled down all the time. I can remember, I'm from Asheville, North Carolina, and I can remember sitting in front of Cecil's College during the day in the heat, and we couldn't run the car AC. You couldn't do that because it would cost too much money. So we would just have to sit there, and she would leave us alone. She'd leave us alone while she was inside in her classes, and I was probably 7 or 8, and my brother was probably 2 at the most, maybe 3 at the absolute most. No, he probably, if I was 7, then he was 2 or 1. But, and, you know, I mean, it was uncomfortable and it was hot, but I never died from it. My brother never died from it, and I never knew of kids that did die. I knew of kids dying in refrigerators. Like, when I was a kid, that was a big thing my mom was afraid of, that we would go play in a junkyard and we'd climb into a refrigerator and not be able to get out. So I had a healthy fear of refrigerators, but I didn't know anything about cars. And I can't remember any kids dying in cars when I was a kid either. Although, I mean, it's every day now. Every single day now. It's like a kid was found in a car, or a kid was rescued from a car, or, you know, a kid died in a car. And I don't understand it. I have 3 autistic children, okay? Autistic children. I am exhausted on a level that I never thought I would understand, but I think like a Roman warrior might understand the level of exhaustion that I go through on a daily basis. And I would never be able to leave my children in the car. I can't understand it. I can't understand that rationale. It doesn't ring true with me. I'm gonna zoom in if I can. No, it won't let me. It's getting a little hotter, that's for sure. It's not quite uncomfortable yet, but it's only been 6 minutes. One time, when I was in Florida, I have twins, and the twins were, and I have a 7-year-old, and then I have twins. Now I have a 14-year-old and 7-year-old twins. And at the time, I had to go to Verizon to get my phone worked on. And so I parked in front of the Verizon, and it was like the car was here, and then there's like a little walkway, and then the Verizon store was here, and there's a giant window. So you could literally stand in the window and be 2 feet away from your car. Well, 4 feet, the size of the sidewalk, away from your car. So, like, even if I had left my kids in the car, which I didn't, but even if I had left my kids in the car, like, I could supervise them the entire time, and nothing bad's gonna happen to them. They're, like, 2 feet away from me. It's not like the people that leave them in a Walmart parking lot completely unsupervised for 45 minutes. I'm not talking about that. So, what I did was, I parked my car, I got my 7-year-old, I got my 1 baby Hannah, and I took Haley inside the Verizon store, and I set her on the seat by the window, and I said, you sit here and you hold Hannah, and I'm going to go get Kylie. And in the amount of time that it took me to take Haley in and sit her down and say, hold your sister, someone called the cops. And by the time I got back out and I was getting Kylie out of the car to go inside, a police officer pulled up behind me and was like, we got a call that you abandoned your child in the car. And I was like, no, I left my 1 baby in the car while I took my other baby inside because I'm 1 person and I can't carry 2 babies and hold my 7-year-old's hand safely in the street because we're in a parking lot. So I was like, I can't safely do that with 2 babies and then no hand to hold her. And the officer was like, well, I'm going to let you go with a warning, but you need to do this with other people because you can't be leaving your babies in the car, even if it's just for a minute. And I was like, I get what you're saying, and I would never leave my kids in the car under any circumstances, but I think you are a little over the line. She's in the car for 2 seconds while I ran inside and then ran back out. And he was like, ma'am, there's no error for judgment here. And I walked away from that feeling like the worst mom in the world. I called my mother-in-law in tears because he was making it out like I was a terrible mother and I was neglectful and I should try harder. And I'm like, I'm 1 person. I've got 3 children. What do you want me to do? And he didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to hear it. I did not get a ticket, but I did walk away from that feeling like a very bad mom. Even though I wasn't, even though I did nothing wrong. And everyone that I've told that story to is like, oh my God, you did nothing wrong. I still feel like I did. I still feel like I did something wrong. It's very hot in my car right now. It is muggy. I'm going to do 2 videos. I'm going to do 1 video today Well, like I said, it's like, I think it's like 78. It's almost 80. And it's muggy. It's like really, really humid. So I'm doing a video now to see if it's the same in humid conditions as it is in like just really, really 90-degree outside, sun blaring down on you conditions. Because I want to make sure, you know, like, I mean, people are, don't leave your kids in a hot car. Well, I'm kind of like, don't leave your kids in an unsupervised car anyway. So I'm going to do two. I'm going to do a normal weather, like this is, like I said, it's 78, and there's, you know, clouds overhead. The sun is shining, but it's not like, see, you can see the sun is shining, but it's not like blaring down on me, or I'd have my sunglasses on. And it is not hot, although I can definitely feel like sweat is starting to bead up on, like, right along here. And I'm starting to get a little bit of sweat down here and in my boobs. But I'm not, like, sweating, per se. And it is hot, but it's not, like, it's very muggy, though. It's like, I feel like I have, like, a blanket on top of me. And that is not pleasant. Oh, my kid's inside the doctor's office. Otherwise, I wouldn't have the opportunity to just sit in my van for an hour. I don't have that kind of life. I wish I did. I wish I did. I wish I had the kind of life where I could just go sit in my van for an hour. I'm doing this today because I'm waiting on her. She has an hour-and-a-half long appointment, so I'm waiting on her. And I'm very thirsty. I'm really parched, and I'm really thirsty, and I want very badly to drink my drink, but I'm not going to do that because that would defeat the purpose of the experiment. This is not pleasant. This is not pleasant. We're at 12 minutes now, and sweat is breaking out on my neck. I can feel it beating up on my neck. I can feel it on the back of my neck, at my hairline. I'm trying not to, like, sit up as much, because that's the whole point of the seatbelt, is, like, I'm strapped into the seatbelt, so, like, I can only move so much. I definitely want to try to stick to that, but I can feel, like, my lower back, I can feel there's some sweat starting to build up there too. It's very uncomfortable sitting like this. I would definitely not choose to do this for any reason. This is very uncomfortable. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm trying not to move. I'm trying to just sit here and be still. Breathe. I'm regulating my breathing. My mouth is getting very dry. I'm getting a little cotton mouth. My tongue is starting to stick to my throat, or to my top of my mouth. And I am going to stop this video here because it's at 15 minutes and nobody ever wants to watch longer than a 15-minute long YouTube video. I know better than that. So I'm going to sit up. I'm stuck to everything. I'm going to sit up and I'm going to stop this. There's going to be part 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and so on and so on and so on. But part 1, this was part 1. This was the beginning. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but I'm definitely getting some sweat up here and back in here. But again, it's not 90 degrees out. It's only about 80 degrees out, and it's raining. So it's humid out there, and it's getting humid in here, but it's not crazy, crazy hot, hot, hot. But the purpose of this video is to prove that it doesn't have to be crazy hot, hot, hot for you to still have the same reaction that you would have if it was crazy hot, hot, hot. So this is part 1, and I'll come right back with part 2.